Welcome back to the class, everyone. We are in the first match of the final week of 5v5. We've been doing very poorly, as such has been the last couple months, but we'll see if we can turn things around this week and maybe have a shot at getting through this one on a positive note. So we're up against Traya, at least I'm going to say it's his name, and we're pretty darn even when it comes to overall rosters. He does have the advantage in relic levels, as most people do, but not by a huge margin, only by about 90 or so. He does have Ray and we don't, so that's always a negative for us. Omicrons are pretty darn similar across the board. He has one more of Star Killers. It looks like we have Raddus and he doesn't, but our Raddus isn't really active, so that's kind of whatever. And then we do have Dash, and I do, 5v5 especially, I really do like Dashes quite a bit. As far as mods go, we have him beat pretty badly, but we've seen with the 25% Datacrons out, it really doesn't matter. If he has more of those than we do, or at least more relic levels that he can put them out, then that advantage really just kind of goes away, which is sad, but it is what it is. And he placed, oh my gosh, he placed so much on defense. This has been a very reoccurring theme over the last couple months, where people have a few Galactic Legends that they always like to set on defense. Like, a lot of people really always like to set Lord Vader and Rey, for example. But then as soon as they get a level 9 Datacron for JML and JMK, they throw those two. So he's got 4 Galactic Legends down here below. And then even up top, he's got several Galactic Legends there as well, if you count Malgus, I guess. So we've got Malgus, JMK, and then the CLS team is probably going to be good. And then we also, I'm guessing this is the TM Cron for Shaak T. Oh, it's actually protection up, so that's more manageable. Awesome. My defense really didn't change a lot from last week. We have adapted our strategy so that we don't get completely hosed when our opponent does this. So I have, Lord Vader, Gas, Maul, and Malgus in the bottom wall. I'm afraid, though, I think he might just be able to get through that even with the defense he's set. If he does, that's kind of okay. As long as we can clear top, we'll win. But he's definitely not getting through this top wall. There's no way he's going to be able to beat all this with the amount that he put on defense. JMK and the Super C with no SLKR is going to be a massive headache. But that being said, let's go ahead and get to our whacking. And here come the battles. So we're going to start off with their JMK using our JML. Really, we have to get through this. If we don't, then we can't get the wall that's worth the most, because we're really not getting through ground. We do have Super JML with Repost, and we land every single ability block, which pretty much means GK is dead in 3 hits, because we're ignoring his protection every single time we're hitting, because we're always calling in Jedi who have Repost. Cat is dead in 2 hits, and I mean, this team just doesn't get anywhere. And then we're able, this is the first time we've ever done this, we just kill JMK. So not only, are we getting done with this battle in about a minute, but we also get full banners. So very, very satisfying. That isn't wildly consistent if you do not have the reposting, don't land all the ability blocks, but I'll take it. Especially got the save Jedi Knight Luke. So now we're going up against the Shaak T team with Bad Batch, and they were really fast, but we were faster with our TM Cron. And on top of that, they had the protection up Datacron, so we just ripped all of it off, and our entire team got to go first. The reason why we're taking Cody instead of Omega here, and I do actually really like Omega, but the reason why Cody's here and she's not is because he's Relic 5 and she's not. So we get very good RNG in this fight. We land every single stun, which we have a ton of potency, and they don't have any tenacity, so we should, but there's always that 15% chance that just kind of doesn't go our way. But it very much goes our way, and we clobber them for a very easy 65. We now need to go against their CLS team. They have a really good Datacron, and on top of that, their Han, as you could see, was faster. Luckily, he didn't stun one of my important characters, being one of the Wookiees. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be able to aim at his Chewbacca, kill him, and just start taking apart the team. We as well do have a level 9 Datacron with CLS, but it's not very good. We have, actually, no, that's a lie. Our level 6 is a really good one. It's the take reduced damage whenever we're above 50% health or something, or 50% turn meter. So it actually reduces things by quite a bit. So like I said, we get their CLS down. I'm going to take an opportunity now just to stun Han, just because the blind doesn't really work on him. We go ahead and kill R2 via assist entirely. And then we have to go after Nubaka. I probably shouldn't have let him blind us, but, it's not really going to change anything here. And then Nubaka misses because he was blinded. I misplayed, I guess, but it all worked out. We got our 63. And then here, the reason why we're undersizing is because I want to save all my other Jedi that are R3 above for another team to be able to beat SLKR down below. We're not trying to, cut banners here. This is specifically because of Datacrons, because I wanted a Datacron that had armor penetration. And then this is the really, really good level 9 Malgus. And the issue here is our Giant Anakin got his cooldowns increased 3 times. We did not use that AoE. He just straight up got his cooldowns increased repeatedly by Malgus because he's able to do things. So yeah, this is really not good. Like, we're getting the occasional shot out here, but I mean, we're not doing a whole lot of damage. And then we get the 2-turn stun after our cooldowns being increased. And I mean, that right there is game. This whole attempt is in the water. Like, I might as well have really just forfeited. Like, that was not a good battle to keep. That being said, we do still have SLKR. I wanted to save SLKR for below because we actually had a chance at full clearing this guy if every single battle went our way. As you can see, that was not the case. We started with a swipe on this battle, though. That way, our zombie is taunting immediately. That way, they don't get, like, a cheeky shot on my Daka. We get the techs out. Probably don't need Want here most of the time. I wanted to take in Want specifically, though, for this battle because they were turn meter loaded, and I didn't know who was going to go when. Like, if Malik went very first and wiped off the taunt and put out Shaak, and then everyone just went right after my Daka, and they kept increasing cooldowns on my SLKR, battle could have gone poorly. So Want was just a little bit of insurance there. And as you can see, things are going fine. We stun Malik. I can't stun Malgus, and he's the one who was taunting. We go ahead and prop our ult. This battle really, once you get it going, once you get advantage onto zombie, you can't lose. It is very, very, very easy. This is probably, at least with the current Datacrons, this is probably the best counter or most reliable counter there is to Malgus without going, you know, JMK cat or something like that. Actually, I heard someone lost doing that, but I think they majorly misplayed. But anyways, yeah, so this is going very, very well. We're about to get to our second ult here. Like I said, you don't even really risk timeout with this team because SLKR can lower What's-His-Face's mastery and just put him in the dirt. On top of that, it is really nice that we were able to get full banners back. I was able to use, or to pop the protection over time with Want. So, you know, everyone but Zombie is going to get there. Malo is just going to keep pummeling Zombie until, you know, he runs out of things to do, and he'll be dead here in a second once we... Oh, and he dodged. That was unfortunate, but, you know, this is probably the match that he could dodge the most. So SLKR does take him down. Solid 45 will take it. And now, shout out to Gavin. He actually was on one of my last YouTube videos. He commented and suggested the strat next time we had to do it. Lo and behold, we're here, and that is undersizing with this Jedi team. And again, we have to do this because I wanted to keep using Datacrons, and I kept running out of Jedi that were over R3. So strategy here is pretty simple. You get procced on Giant Revan, you swap over to Giant Luke, stun everyone. Make sure to get the foresight up so that when SLKR does use his swipe, he doesn't hit anyone important. And this is actually isn't super great. We don't get the buff from Hoda out, so we're missing a decent amount of offense here because defensively speaking, we're going to be fine. There's nothing SLKR can do when he can't crit. We missed there, so that was unfortunate. I'm guessing that's because our mastery went down. And then we take an opportunity here to go ahead and kill First Order Officer. One thing that is really nice in this battle is SLKR had his turn meter gained 2 times. So he's pretty much a lot lower health than he should be. And then we're able to land the blind so that he wouldn't swipe and reduce our mastery. So again, we're doing really weird things because of Datacron. So this is... I hate the relic gate for Datacrons, guys. I really hate it. It's so annoying. So we can't use the good team with Fennec and also at the same time use our BAM Datacron versus Lord Vader. So we have to take in this really weird team. And I honestly don't know what would have been better, to just leave the Datacron on the side and take my Gear 12 Mando. I've been having issues with Gear 12 Mando that he dies way too early, or he keeps proccing turns that with BAM that he shouldn't, and things get all out of order, and it's very messy. So this is just kind of what happens when, you know, my Grievous is R3, my Mando is Gear 12. We're able to do this. I don't know if we're supposed to save Bosk here. I really don't know what we were supposed to do, but we do. Just keep giving out the damage meter. Our BAM again does have the level 9 Datacron. We're gonna keep doing that. We get out Maul rather quickly, and I do misplay up here. I'm not sure how much or how big of a deal per se it was gonna be, but we do make a pretty fatal mistake here. So we keep putting the damage meter on Fennec. Lord Vader does get to take mastery from 4 characters, so that's not ideal. But here, oh, I guess this actually probably wasn't that big of a misplay, but we put the armor shred onto Lord Vader. We should have probably saved it for Crew, because Crew's defense, it's really stinking good, and we're just not gonna get through Crew without that. So, I mean, you can see the kick there we did to Crew. It barely did anything. Granted, I think he had defense up that turn, so we're able to get damage immunity going here for the most part. We do get that finally that armor shred onto Crew, and Fennec gets really, really close to actually killing him with that now that he doesn't have defensive stats to do anything. And then Lord Vader, after a second ult, has enough offense to just one-shot her. So that's really not great. There's no maul here, it's just tank, so we might be able to clean this up with something, but we'll come back to that. We're gonna go ahead and tackle JML. And a shout out to another person that helped us on our last stream was Jeffsky. He said that Grievous versus JML is a lot easier if you go in and you burn cooldowns. As you guys can see, that's gonna be the case here. So we go ahead and immediately go in. They blow some hits on Newt, which is great, because that's how we can get a free Grievous turn without having to permanently lose people. So we get some target lock going out there. We're able to use the AoE so that we gain more turn meter, because Cam has target lock as well, and I want to take advantage of that. Also, speed up on Grievous doesn't hurt. They proc another B2 turn, so we're able to kind of get things under control as far as their buffs go. I mean, this is might not be the best supporting cast for this counter per se, but Jedi Knight Luke Cam, like, those are like the 4 attacker Jedi now that I think about it. Wow, yeah, those are, like, you could split that amount of attackers to, like, 4 good Jedi teams. Anyways, we're able to kill Grandmaster Yoda, and this is really annoying. Their Jedi Knight Anakin keeps countering because we didn't land target lock on him, and he had the Jedi Knight Luke buff. Luckily, he does run out of that because of his bonus turns end up taking over. And now we just killed Jedi Master Luke with our final big hit here, and awkwardly enough, Giant Luke was going to be the last one standing. Doesn't matter. I will take our 36. Thank you very much. So now we got to go in, and I'm trying to figure out things that we can do to be able to kill the sides here, because if we can kill the sides, troopers have a pretty decent shot at taking down Lone Lord Vader out. So we go ahead and take this in. I'm pretty sure that we could survive long enough here to at least annihilate crew, and then we can probably come in with like a really bad or a Mando team and kill their shore trooper, and then, like I said, we can go for troopers against him. So we're able to control this battle for the most part. We do isolate shore just because I don't want to isolate crew and then he never taunts and we never get a shot at hitting him. Do try to increase cooldowns of Lord Vader for the most part through a number of means. I did take Maul here just so we can have extra Sith to be able to hit people, and this is really nice. So we get Hell by Hatred. We're still not dead, or nobody's died yet. Lord Vader is taking a long time to actually be able to build stuff, because number one, he has less units on the team, but he doesn't have Maul either, and Maul is really Lord Vader's quick stop to be able to getting his ultimate. So he takes forever there, and then this is funny, like, so Nihilus takes damage from when the dots proc, but he's always left with the sliver, and the percent amount on that sliver with the amount of dots that Traya and Cyan have taken up to give him stacking health is just huge. So we live long enough to not only kill crew, but also go ahead and kill their shore. And from here, I just put it on auto. Like, there's no way these two characters are gear 12 are going to have enough offense to be able to kill Lord Vader. So, yeah, I think Lord Vader actually does end up getting enough offense after a while, enough back-to-back turns that he's able to kill our Nihilus. So good for him. And now we're going to go ahead and come in with troopers, like I said. And this is probably the best argument that I've seen for a high relic dark. And when I mean high relic, I mean like R7, R8. Because typically, the team has a ton of offense because of Emperor's Trap. Like, that's how dark hits as hard as he does. The issue is when you go up to clan of a galactic legend like Lord Vader, he's gonna keep constantly taking turns, and we're constantly losing a huge amount of Emperor's Trap, and then our damage just starts to go away. Very luckily, our dark died, or he lost a stack, and what that did is that stripped off the daze. So he's been the only one who's actually able to assist via range unique, and that pulled us in the win. But I've lost that match twice because Dark hasn't died, and you get dazed, and then you just don't have enough offense because nobody's taking turns, and Lord Vader has a lot of health steal. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and tackle ships. We're just going to go ahead and use Old Reliable here, which is our Separatist versus Empire. This has worked every single time, as long as TIE Fighter Pilot isn't there to, take 9 turns or whatever. Even with, I've heard a lot of people preach, like, Gauntlet is the best, and he very well might be the best, but it ultimately just doesn't really change anything here. We're always consistently able to get down their TIE Bomber. We're able to just nuke someone right off the bat, and then we just have to deal with these two now. And I mean, this is because of what's-his-face, the TIE prototype or whatever. They are going to get to ult because they have a lesser ult cooldown because of that, and they're going to increase our ult as well, so that's going to be annoying, but they're not going to win. Like, they have no offense now. Gauntlet and Shuttle are not going to be enough to be able to take us down. So they get rid of my Hyena. That's a bummer. To keep focusing down Gauntlet, I do finally bring in Soldier. I wanted to wait until they had killed my Hyena to bring in Soldier, and that worked perfectly. And now we have to go ahead and go with our Rebel 2-shot versus Executor. It is the Houndstooth comp, which I think is a little bit easier because it's a lot easier to handle Houndstooth at the beginning than it is as reinforcement. So I've been using this new Mace cleanup style fleet. It's been working really well, actually. That's exactly what I wanted. So now we get to come in with our Akbar, as great as he is. They burn the taunt onto Razor Crest because we hit him with the other team. Now we have a clear opening for Xanadu Blood, and finally, this time, the team decides to assist. Or Millennium Falcon decides to assist. We're able to get Xanadu Blood out there, and that's really that's a win within itself. That makes this very cleanupable between a few other fleets. So we don't get one of the assists on Razor Crest, I think, but it's not that big of a deal. And now we just need to take out Slave 1. So I typically don't like to take in Cassian, but this is the perfect example of when you should. So not only can we rip out the taunt, but it won't come back because nobody has breach, and we can nuke Slave 1. So I don't typically like doing that, but that was the perfect opportunity to do it. And then we keep getting assists against Razor Crest, so this is even better now. Not only did we get their Slave 1 out, but it looks like we're about to get the Razor Crest, and then we get the counter as well from Cassian, so that was really cool. From here, we pretty much can't lose. We've already taken down 3 of the ships, even if the Falcon decides I'm not going to assist for the rest of the battle. Houndstooth isn't just going to solo us here, so we actually get the Shield Disruptor on him, which is nice. Don't get the assist, whatever, it's fine. We just go for the defense pen to be able to get through Houndstooth. No assist again, that's fine. We'll go ahead and bring in Wedge. We don't get an assist again, so this is somewhat balanced RNG, not just completely terrible like it was that one time, but also not great. We stay on Houndstooth just because he has buff immunity, and he's way easier to kill when he has buff immunity. And now it's just IG, so even if they get ult, like, who cares? Yeah, so probably the cleanest that's been in a long time. A good 50 banners for us there. So definitely enjoyed that. I think maybe gearing up Cassian help. Now we have to take... This fight is annoying. We have to take in Finalizer versus their Raddus. And this, I mean, this battle is just annoying. They get a lot of crit avoidance. They are not a crit avoidance, crit immunity. They get a lot of stealth, or not, yeah, well, a little bit of stealth, but mostly they get the dodge chance, and that just makes it really, really annoying. So I think we go ahead and go with Ebonhawk here first, just to kind of get past everything that they're going to throw out at us. And yeah, it's just not, it always works, but it's always kind of a headache getting it there. And like, especially when Silencer gets dazed kind of out of nowhere, that's not fun to deal with at the same time. So we do, like I said, we do bring in Ebonhawk. We go ahead and double basic for the turn meter, and then we're able to kind of make some headway in the Falcon. And then right as we do, Sarge comes in, which this is annoying now, and I can't just keep pumping turns to Silencer because he's now dazed. So we have to wait for him to come out of that. And I mean, this whole team is really organized to pass team to Silencer, let him blow something up. Pass team to Silencer, let him blow something up. And we don't get to do that. I do through buff immunity, just that way, if we need to, we can remove the buff, or the taunt, and it will stop coming back. And this is not great either. So we have to, trying to go after Falcon, but I'm like, he's got Foresight, so let's just hit someone else. And this is, like I said, this is just annoying. So we wipe off the Foresight from Falcon just to have Silencer just barely not kill. And now finally, I think we built up enough damage that Silencer just starts to one-shot pretty much everyone here. So we're able to take down the 2 major damage dealers, and the only threat really that exists now is that they get their ultimate, and then we just kind of don't really get to have a whole lot of fun with getting to clean it up. I mean, I can clean it up with my Raddus. It is 20 less banners, and this very well might come down to a banner contest because we couldn't get through his bottom wall, so we're just taking the top and hoping we can beat him in efficiency that way. That being said, this is going pretty well now. They only have 1 ship left. It's not going to be that hard to be able to take them down, so we should be fine there. And yeah, once we get them off and then we're able to use big hits, we take them down and we win the entire match. So I already showed you guys what we did here. We did get stuck on Rey. We didn't have a team for. What I wanted to do is I wanted to 2-shot Malgus here with Qui-Gon and then Traya, and then I was also wanting for our bounty hunters to one-shot their Lord Vader, and then we would have actually had SLKR to be able to use against Rey. So the full clear was almost on the table. We had one battle go south. In reality, out of a lot of battles that could have gone south. And then our opponent, I think this is all he did. I woke up this morning, I saw that he had 3 attacks on Lord Vader, couldn't get him down, and then just kind of just looks like he gave up, which, you know, is what it is. I mean, when you put down a defense as thick as he did, I don't know what's in the back wall. I don't know if he put Star Killer and C back there. I don't know if gas was back there. I don't know what his options were, but if he's not able to take Lord Vader down, period, then he has no shot at beating us in efficiency or otherwise. So overall, pretty good match. I'm happy with it. I had fun, and at the same time, winning doesn't hurt. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and as always, stay awesome.